our children and families. And let me tell you why. These days, so many of us have a story about how our lives are affected by gun violence. Mine begins on the morning of March 8th, 2009. I arrived at my job around noon, and I'm a public policy geek. I watch the news all the time. It was my habit then, it's my habit now, as it should be. And I opened my computer before I began my afternoon rehearsal. That was a Sunday afternoon. Opened my computer and I saw a picture of my favorite cousin. I said, what did Fred do? I'm not surprised, you know, he's a great guy. And then I read, Fred Winters, pastor of First Baptist Church, Maryville, Illinois, shot down in the pulpit as he preached. And you know, I'm not the only one with a story like this, so don't feel sorry. So I'm reading about what my cousin did. I'm reading about how 1 minute he preached before the altar of the Lord, and the next minute he was sacrificed to the gods of greed and indifference. But see, the thing is, when you're a teacher and you've got kids waiting on you for rehearsal, whose parents have dropped them off, you can't just stop, you can't just wait. The show must go on no matter what. So I dried it up. And I went into my rehearsal, and teachers are going to teach. Any teachers in the house? Yeah. I thought so. So because I'm a music teacher, this becomes a teachable moment about how we take the crisis in our lives and turn it into something more beautiful and more meaningful and more permanent, more lasting, like this movement, what we're going to do today and forward. So Thomas Dorsey was my reflection that day. Thomas Dorsey was a jazz and blues musician. He was out, you know, in the clubs every night, a recording artist. And in 1932, his wife was about to give birth. And he got the notice and he went home, and unfortunately she had passed away in childbirth. And then 2 days later he lost his son. But out of that moment, Thomas Dorsey began the modern gospel music movement with his most famous song, Precious Lord, Take My Hand. At this time in American history, I call upon all of us to begin a more beautiful movement, a lasting cultural change, one that values patriotism and claims it as how well we take care of our neighbor. And the words to that song are, Precious Lord, take my hand. Lead me on, help me stand. I am tired, I am weak, I am worn. Through the dawn, through the night, lead me on to the light. Take my hand, precious Lord, lead me home. It's time in America to sing a new song. Thank you. Chalis Montgomery for District 10.
How do you spell that?
As penance, I get to introduce the next. I'm not knowing those before I introduce the next guest. The next guest is a great friend of mine. It's probably my new best friend, if I'm going to be honest. She and I had gone through a special election last November together, a new experience for the both of us. And in that process, when you're going through a new experience that's stressful and difficult, you need a best friend, somebody you can speak to. And since going up to the Gold Dome and representing the people in District 119, She's somebody that I can always look to and speak to with complete honesty, because we've been at the beginning of the journey together, even though she started a little bit before me. So she's a member of the Georgia State House. She represents District 117. The bulk of that district is in southern Jackson County, but also includes parts of Athens-Clarke, roughly from Tallahassee Road westward, and extends into Bogart and Malcolm Bridge areas of Oconee. If you're not from the South originally, we really like our geography. It also contains a small section of eastern Bureau County. She's been a licensed attorney for over 19 years, whose practices focuses on two main areas: media and entertainment on one hand, and social media and technology on the other. She's a mother of two and a grandmother of two, and with her husband, she lives in southwestern Clark County. I can't speak enough of this woman's work ethic, of her diligence. She is a great, great person, and I'm very honored to introduce Deborah Gonzalez.
Good morning.